What up, everyone? Team SD1 coming at you here with another deck profile. Today we got Bryan Samuel with his first place Nouva Shenron deck from GENCON. Today we're going to go over some of the matchups and the deck list. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir. So matchup wise, I played a lot of green. I opened up with Broly Surge, which was, to be honest, probably one of my hardest matchups of the day, surprisingly. He piloted the deck really well. I played that round one. I played two Namek Gokus. I played the Nouva Mirror match, was another good matchup I had. That was fun. I played against Green Gohan, Red Skillless Goku, and then I was supposed to play Black Vegito in the final, but unfortunately the deck lists were messed up and the app was all jacked up. So I don't know what, I'm not going to get into further details with that, but that's what happened there. So those of you who don't know what the deck does or what the leader does, on the front side, you switch to rest mode. You put any yellow card from your hand into your Z energy. You search top 5 for any yellow Shadow Dragon, add it to your hand. It awakens with a Z Unison on turn 2. So turn 2, you're just always going to awaken naturally. Go into this guy. This guy does a lot. On both sides, he draws. So on defense and offense, whenever a yellow card is comboed, you draw a card. Has an activate battle or main skill. You don't have to pay anything for this one, but you sacrifice 2 Z energy to restand one of your EX Evolve targets, which is in this deck we pretty much just have Nouva. And then it has a third skill, which is activate battle. Whenever you combo with one of the 1-star balls or any of the balls in general, you pay 1 yellow and you get to play a Shadow Dragon with the same name from your drop. It's at cost of 4. So that's what he does. A lot of you know what it does, but I'm just gonna put the deck out here so you guys can see it. Okay, so we run 8 balls. So we run 4 of the Sin and 4 of the Nouva. These are the only ones you're gonna use in the deck. So obviously the other ones are restricted to where you can't use them in this deck anyway. So this is the only 2 packages you're gonna need. You can try to play, Haze and other couple things like that, but for the most part, this is what you're gonna run. So 4 package there. I'll run 3 Oceanus. It's just your searcher for the deck. You burst 1, search top 5, Shadow Dragon, add to your hand. It builds the drop, which this deck runs 2 Overwhelms and runs 2 of the Omega that warp 7 from the drop. So she's pretty crucial. This is probably the only card I didn't use the entire weekend. In this deck, it's not as abused as much as it does in Oceanus. So it's pretty much just Shadow Dragon Z energy fodder at this point. So, but it can come up, I guess, every once in a while if you're in a tight spot. So you could, I'm just running that at 2. Ice is just to make sure that you have the ball on turn 1. It's just another target. You should get it regardless, because like I said, on the front side, you search your deck for any Shadow Dragon that includes the ball. So you should see it on turn 1 between this, Oceanus, and Ice. This is the 4-drop Sin. It locks. It's good against some decks that, when you lock their leader, it steps them back a turn. But for the most part, you're always going to go into the other guy. This is the guy. This is just really tough. You bring this guy out on turn 2 during your Awaken. You have an open energy for Floodgates. You protect your, your Unison. It's pretty straightforward. 4 of each of these. 4 of the new 4-drop Nouva. Comes in play, rest something, draws a card. Dual attacker, early game pressure. And he's the target that you need for this. The 8-drop Nouva. This guy draws 2 on EX Evolve. Swings, kills something, swings. The turn this card comes out, it's going to swing at least 3 times. So it's just a lot of pressure, 30k. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. 2 of the Omega. This is a triple striker. You can sometimes take your opponent by surprise. Combine this with Annihilation and the SCR of choice, and you could just win the game. So he's good at 2, I feel. This you could up it to 4. I don't like putting too many 10Ks in the deck, but this deck in particular allows you to put 10Ks underneath your Z card, and you get to combo it for free. So playing 4 wouldn't hurt you. Or if you wanted to play the 9-drop Sin, you could. But this particular build that I have is more aggressive, so I don't run the 9-drop version. Haze, just a busted card. I'm sure I know what it does. Just anything with higher cost, you're just gonna pop it, and then you draw a card because your leader says draw whenever you combo. So busted there. I ran 2 of each Floodgate. I ran 2 Vegitos and 2 Bardoks. You could up them if you want. The deck didn't really need it. As long as I saw one of them on my Awaken turn, I was pretty safe. They just can't really get through this in Nimbus, so it was pretty good at that. I run 1 grade 8 baby. A lot of my deck is consistent of 1 of those right now because again, this being BO1 pre-side, I'm just gonna switch things out anyway. So I played one. This is obviously just for the skillless matchup. It's very good against skillless. It won me my skillless matchup for sure. I played one Annihilation. I'm going to be upping this in the future. This won a lot of my matches this weekend between green and red. They just couldn't explosive dance me. They couldn't dormant me. They couldn't do anything. So that did that. I played one of this. This is pretty much a power of a Super Saiyan. It's also another target to be in my drop. So if I combo with my ball, I can just play it out. It's another 4-drop target. It bursts for you. You know, you could take it out if you want. I like it in there at 1. It's just not really an issue. 1 Bardock Father Son. I pretty much played this in my yellow deck ever since Trunks Cheetah. Just it's free additional pressure. They play tokens. It's able to just tap it and continue the pressure. So pretty good card. 1 Koitsukai. Sideboard the others is just for just really annoying matchups like red skillless Goku or any floodgate heavy decks. Then they're at 1. Overwhelm of Choice. 2 Secret Identities. It just in this current format with skillless being, you know, running around rampant, it's just it's a really good card. I'd play this over the Vegeta in this format in particular. So I got a lot of questions about why I use this super combo. In this deck, you establish 2 Z energy literally on turn 2, so this is alive, you know, instantly. I would play this over Krillin because in this deck, especially in this build, you're going to see that you win a lot on 5 or 6 energy, or 5 or 6 life, excuse me. So I would definitely run this over Krillin. But again, test it if you want to find out. Some people like running the Gogeta SCR package, and that's why they play the Krillin in general. But I'm running the Gohan Piccolo. It's an aggro deck. It's very good SCR. You can run Gogeta if you like, but I feel like it's just too slow in the current format. But you know, to each their own. You can try it out if you like. Extra cards, I'm running 2 Time Magic and 2 Nimbus, 2/2 split. Just for, again, decks that just spam wide or decks that go tall, multiple attacks. It's good against the mirror. It's good against, you know, if you play against U7 or just anything like that in general. Time Magic is always a very good card. And then I run 1 Dragon Thunder and 1 Power of a Super Saiyan. Dragon Thunder is pretty much a final flash, except it doesn't get through barrier, of course. One cool thing to know about this card in skillless is if you're going for game against skillless and they have their, like, the holy water out, and you use this and you blank, you can actually blank their Z extra card, so they essentially lose 2 life. It didn't come up for me in my red skillless matchup, but it hit something that's actually pretty gimmicky, so it could actually see play. But that's the main board. I'll go over the sideboard really quick and the Z extra deck. So Z extra deck's pretty self-explanatory. You play the 1 Shadow Dragon Assembled. This card comes out for free when you awaken. You get to put the balls from your deck under it and get free combo power the rest of the game. 1 Oolong. It's usually a finisher. Usually mimics your SCR or something, Nouva or something that's just big. Haze, actually a really good card. It didn't come up too much in my matchups this weekend, but it is really good for the deck. Comes to a 1 cost battle card, 15k pressure. You get to put more cards from your drop back underneath your Shadow Dragon card. 1 Vegeta, it's just another way to get through barrier early. This deck does struggle with early game barrier, which is why you have this and you have the sideboard, but it's just more pressure and sometimes it comes up. I did not play Evolved Defender this weekend. The yellow Z deck is pretty limited, so I mean, it's always just good to have it as a one of. You never know what's going to happen. So I'll be very honest. I did not know the ruling about Empower, so I was being dumb and I thought that I could go I could go off of my Z Unison into this, but Empower, you do have to send it to the drop. Fortunately, I didn't get a chance to even use it all weekend anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then you need the 4 Z Unison because this card is crucial for the deck. This has to be out there every turn that you're doing things, so you're probably not going to go through more than 2 because after a certain point, your opponent just says, like, you know, screw it, I'm not going after their Unison, I'm going for their face. So when it gets to that point, you know you're in a better spot. But yeah, you need to have 4 of these, and you need to make sure it's on the field at all times. So that's the Z deck. I'll go over the sideboard. I sideboarded another Great Ape. Again, this is for the skillless matchup. Very good. I'm definitely going to up it to 3. Another Nimbus. It's for super aggro matchups. T-Blow for anything that was like Floodgate heavy or anything like that. Same thing with the Koitsukais at 2. Anything that I needed to just prevent them from doing on my turn. That was it. 2 Smoke Dragons, Unison heavy decks, or just if you couldn't get rid of early game barrier like Vegito decks or whatever, I played this just to kind of clear them. Hunt of the Demon God, great against green. It's pretty much almost only for green. I guess if you play blue Gogeta, you can use it because you can actually spirit boost with your Z card and you can blank their SCR, but it's not going to come up too often. 3 Heavenly Wizard Demigras, specifically for Vegito. I did have a pretty heavy sideboard for Vegito because I didn't want to deal with the 6-drop barrier. And 3 Freons. This is just for hand destruction, sell, green, whatever it may be. It's also good against the mirror too if they're going to be playing the successor to make you drop 2 cards. You just pitch these, and you're able to just kind of keep your hand up. But yeah, that's the deck. That's the sideboard, main board, and it was very successful again. Don't knock the deck until you try it, man. Just try it out, and you'll see it might change your mind. But yeah. Overall, I had a lot of success over this weekend with this deck. I encourage you again to try it. Any other questions, always feel free to just message me directly. I can try to answer you if I can. But yeah, man, that's it for the profile.